All right, next up, NPR has got a news. National Public Radio, the federal government's big old waste of money, I like to call it, has got a new CEO, new president, new head honcho, new chief. Am I allowed to say that, or is that racist, Mia?
I approve.
Okay. The red face of white supremacy has given us the stamp of approval. They got a new chief, and she came from Wikipedia, which, as we know, is the bastion of infinite knowledge. But she said made some pretty disturbing comments publicly, and some of those have come to light. These aren't dumb tweets. This is a TED Talk. Play the first video of the new NPR head, Katherine Maher.
But one of the most significant differences, critical for moving from polarization to productivity, is that the Wikipedians who write these articles aren't actually focused on finding the truth. They're working for something that's a little bit more attainable, which is the best of what we can know right now. And after 7 years there, I actually believe that they're onto something. That for our most tricky disagreements, seeking the truth and seeking to convince others of the truth isn't necessarily the best place to start. In fact, I think our reverence for the truth might have become a bit of a distraction that is preventing us from finding consensus and getting important things done. Now, none of that's to say that the truth isn't important. The truth obviously exists. It's at the core, or the search for the truth is at the core of some of our greatest human achievements. It can animate and inspire us to do, learn, and create great things. But I think in our messy human hearts, we also know that the truth is something of a fickle mistress, and that the beauty of the truth is actually often in the struggle. It's the reason that we have so many sublime chronicles of the human experience, because there are so many different truths to be explored. And so in this spirit, I know that the truth exists for each of you in this room. It also probably exists for the person sitting next to you. But the thing is, the two of you don't necessarily have the same truths.
Oh.
And this is because for many of us, truth is what we make when we merge facts about the world with our beliefs about the world. Each of us has our own truth, and it's probably a good one. It's based.
Each of us has you have to live your truth. That's the important part. Don't you love the doublespeak there? She spends a minute talking about how the truth doesn't matter, and then turns around and goes, of course the truth is important. So that way she's covered all of her bases. So no one can turn around and go, hey, you're saying the truth isn't important. Well, no. Did you watch the full thing? Even though I objectively stated for about a minute to a minute and a half that the truth isn't important, I turned around and said, of course the truth is important afterwards. So that cancels it out. It's done. You got to live your truth, Mia. You got to live your truth, and everyone has their own truth. Did you know that? Everyone has their own truth.
I'm going to be honest. I have no idea what she said.
I was
lost that entire time.
That white woman with the tattoos on her face that we played. Sounds like some shit she would say.
Uh-huh.
But it's a corporate America version. It's my truth. It's my truth. Well, a home invader's truth is kicking the door down and raping somebody. Should we respect his truth? That's his truth. That's his world. That's the facts. That's facts combined with his beliefs. Is that his truth? Where do we draw the line? No, the truth is the truth. Truth and facts are interchangeable. They go around mincing words like this is the gender crap all over again. They go around and they mince words just to confuse and gaslight you and make you feel stupid. That's what this is about. Now, this woman's the head of National Public Radio now. There's one more video. Go ahead, check out what she said. Oh, there's not.
The number one challenge here that we see and is, of course, the First Amendment in the United States is a fairly robust protection of rights. And that is a protection of rights both for platforms, which I actually think is very important, that platforms have those rights to be able to regulate what kind of content they want on their sites. But it also means that it is a little bit tricky to really address some of the real challenges of where does bad information come from and sort of the influence peddlers who have made a real market economy around it.
How is she like a billionaire and still has a bad Wi-Fi connection?
She looked like she was in a hotel room.
Oh, well, they do have shitty Wi-Fi. Horrible, horrible Wi-Fi. So there it is. She's now the head of the National Public Radio, NPR. is on the record saying the biggest problem we face is the First Amendment to the Constitution. I don't know. I think freedom of speech is a pretty big deal in radio. And if you're going to be controlling the outflow of a lot of information, I think it's a little concerning that you're on here saying that that pesky First Amendment keeps getting in the way. Here's now this is Yuri Berliner resigned. He said, "I'm resigning from NPR, a great American institution, debatable, where I have worked for 25 years. I don't support calls to defund NPR. I respect the integrity of my colleagues and wish for NPR to thrive and do important journalism, but I cannot work in a newsroom where I am disparaged by a new CEO whose divisive views confirm the very problems at NPR I cite in my Free Press essay." So, good for him, first off, for standing on principle. Here's the thing. We do need to defund NPR, especially if this is going to be an institution that gets federal government funds where the head of it is now openly saying the First Amendment's the biggest problem she faces. The money's got to go. All the money needs to be good. We need to gut NPR like a deer. What value does it really provide? If it provided, this is the great thing about media, if it provided any type of value, it wouldn't need federal funding. There's no other radio station in the country that needs it, just NPR. So why can't NPR stand on its own? I don't have world-beating numbers. I'm not here, and I'm not out here begging for the federal government to pay me so I can promote my show more. No. We figure it out and we grow the show every week. NPR does not need federal funding, and this solidifies it, period. No, exclamation point. Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw, be sure to click the link in the description to get the full episode on Rumble. If you prefer to listen along, you could actually get us on Spotify, Spreaker, and iHeartRadio. You can also go to www.outlawstreamers.com to learn more about not just my show, but tons of other great shows and all the exciting projects they have coming up. Follow my socials at Caleb Isn't Funny on Twitter and Instagram, at Caleb Salvatore Comedy on the Chinese spy app that is TikTok, and be sure to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thanks, and we'll see you every Saturday for brand new episodes of That's Based. Peace.